Hi, this is Devin Glover from English 112, and I'm here to discuss how adhering to criticism is just as vital as the feedback itself, and through two subtopics such as self criticism and positive criticism. So, to begin, what is criticism? It's the disapproval of something or someone through their faults or shortcomings. And how is it relevant? Through how we interpret and evaluate the feedback we receive in our daily lives, it can either become both a weakness or a strength. So, three ways of how we interpret criticism. On a mental scale, we perceive this kind of feedback to give us a path towards how we think of it as being valuable to us or not. Emotionally, criticism not only takes a sound mind, but also a cooperative attitude. So, how we face daily criticism depends on how we decide to move forward towards gaining or maintaining success or dwell in our own pride. And then spiritually, coping with our faults and starting anew entails a spiritual incentive of not only change, but also a humbling moral fiber towards accepting one's drawbacks. And as you can see here, there are three ways that criticism can impact us. So it can either shape us, break us, or make us more insightful. So how it shapes us, we become more humble, more aware, and more confident in fixing our shortcomings. How it breaks us, so we pretty much just dwell on our own failure and regret, and we face an immense amount of denial. How it makes us more insightful, so we're more comfortable in how we adapt to change, more content with sharpening our skills, and then we obtain those feedback tips to drive us forward in a positive direction. So, in my first body paragraph, which has to deal with self criticism, it talks about overcoming the grueling challenges of it. And it mentions several methods to overcome the fears of criticism in general through silencing our train of thought, maintaining a positive and caring attitude for change, and maintaining a humble mind. And to further expand on this, beyond the fears of confronting one's downfalls, having a willing mindset for change implies that you're also creating the time, energy, and space for yourself to grow as a person. In the second body paragraph, it pretty much discusses how to bear an accepting mind through a public figure, John McCain, who was able to pass on so much humility towards the people he's wronged in a public setting on multiple occasions. And to expand on this, it's important for people to not only strive for change, but to also reflect and forgive oneself for the mistakes we make at any turn, because in doing so, it not only brings us closer to being human, but we also become more accurate than false, and we move forward in a more positive direction. In the third body paragraph, it talks about the drawbacks of unkempt emotion towards criticism in general. So pretty much that's expressing how we bottle up our own emotions and feelings towards criticism and feedback and evaluation. And it also expresses the maximum dangers of self criticism. So, despite the numbers of people who suffer the backlashes of criticism, most of these outcomes stem from self inflicted pressures, anxiety, and immense doubt. So, no matter the time or place, giving ourselves a chance to grow and learn from our mistakes decreases the chances of depression and personal defeat. Fourth body paragraph talks about the tips to overcome the tempting satisfaction of positive feedback. So this paragraph talks about a surplus of positive criticism and how bad that is, because it hinders us from hearing out the negative and how that might drive us as well as the positive towards a more positive direction in the end as an outcome. So additionally, it shares how crucial criticism can be despite it being positive or negative. So, to speak beyond the tempting urges of receiving a surplus of positive criticism, we become weak when ignoring our problems. So, how can we expect ourselves to gain a multitude of achievements when the problems we still have are blocking our path from doing so? And most importantly, part of having a victory stems from having a loss. Fifth body paragraph talks about fixing one's problems does involve internal care and empathy towards achieving progress. So, this pertains to how fixing our issues can shape us for the better. Having the courage to right your wrongs entails that you care enough about yourself to obtain more victories and to change towards a more positive path. And additionally, victorious satisfaction stems from negative dilemmas. Sixth body paragraph talks about the importance of coping with our failures. Face your fears brings you one step closer to that fear becoming a strength for you. And this paragraph stems under how positive criticism can make us more insightful. You know, having the mindset and attitude to change are two aspects out of three that matter most. The third element towards caring for oneself, as well as the feedback, is the tolerance for it. So, pretty much when you're adhering to feedback, these are a series of questions you might ask yourself. Like, do you have what it takes to listen? Do you have what it takes to change this dilemma for the better? Is it worth it for you to remain stubborn, or is it worth it for you to dwell in your own pride, like how it breaks us under this column? And most importantly, if you continue to dwell within your list of comfort zones, will it be satisfying as a well-deserved victory? And most importantly, the paragraph mainly stresses or talks about how we combat our downfalls on a spiritual level. So 6 valuable key points of criticism we can take away from this is progression. You know, adhering to criticism really promises that you progress in a positive direction. It never hinders you. Insightfulness, so it makes you wiser. You know, if you're dwelling in your own pride and you don't adhere to feedback that could be useful to you, then it stops you from learning something different, learning something new, maybe even something better than what you might have thought of. It's part of life, shapes our talents, and if nothing else, then it can also break your sense of pride and it can lead you on a better path. So that's really all I have to share with you guys. Appreciate your time, and most importantly, thank you.